All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
Ready, 25.
Play action, Ryan. And his first pass is incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again, Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Kill. Hey, quick play. 61, sub.
They go play action with Ryan. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And Kamara has it stripped.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years, almost equal yardage, rushing and receiving. Expect his rushing numbers to take a big leap in 2019.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is goes into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play. Yeah.
That, too.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball is expected to be caught.
And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers, and the last 2 years in Oakland. Now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
To throw, it's Brees. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Brees to throw. And complete, right side to Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Come on, one thing for sure, you know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So he Lutz to try to add the PAT.
good to make it 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Logan Paulson is known as more of a blocking tight end. He's never had more than 28 catches in a season, but a nice grab there. Those types of players can often surprise you.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. And who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
His 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Brees going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Brees to throw again. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Ryan. And the catch is made by Justin Hardy. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Here's Ryan to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together, the front and back.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Again, it's Breeze. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 4. Seconds to go in the first half.
Ready. Yellow lady. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Single, single. Watch 41. Tonight.
To throw again on second down. Breeze is going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will do it for this first half. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the try. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller is thinking, what have I done before?
And that's caught inside the 35. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, 75 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they just went 4 verts there against cover 2, didn't they?
They did, and it's really an excellent route versus cover 2, because the longer it develops, the more stress is put on the safeties, because they're the ones back, each with half the field responsibilities. The corners don't retreat very far in cover 2. They're closer to the line of scrimmage, so now you've got 4 receivers putting pressure on 2 guys covering. Usually you'll find someone open, and that's exactly what they did there. Made the catch and carried it all the way into the end zone.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
47 Mike, 47 Mike, 21. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. Hey, orbit. 47. Mike.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
To throw is Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 17 yards on fourth. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Sack, baby! Sack!
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. And they're going to bring him down. Back across midfield at the 45. Marcus Davenport. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they'd converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run out of the gun with Primera. And he loses the football the 2nd time. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the 1st half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Rolling to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Jordan, his second sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here's Ryan. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And they will